Alrighty folks, we're back on the floor of the 55th Annual AEA Convention and Trade Show. We keep talking about this is where the really cool stuff happens. Well, sometimes the really cool stuff happens someplace else a little bit, and then they bring it here, and it's all good. At the HAI convention, we were running up and down the halls and keeping Nathan busy, going from helicopter to helicopter and cool thing to cool thing, and watching him get his picture taken on board a Russian mill and things of that nature, just having a heck of a good time. But on our way through one of the hallways, we said hello, and oh, hey, by the way, I've got something new, and well, you weren't kidding. We teased it a little bit before the break with the final answer to the perennial, are we there yet question. But Ash, you have been known for building interfaces to information in regards to carbon monoxide content in the cockpit, but you've taken those sensors and those devices and kind of broadened your reach. Tell me about the Aero-454.
Well, let me tell you a little bit of background, is that the Aero-454 is an offshoot of our existing technology, which is the Aero-452. The Aero-452 has been a standard product on most of the OEMs, Cessna, Cirrus, Diamond, and Diamond Aircraft, and a lot of the other OEMs for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So what we have done is on the Aero-454 is we have taken that unit and extended it about another an inch and a half, and we added a Bluetooth module.
Okay. And
one of the things that we have done is on the Bluetooth module is this Bluetooth module can sync up to 3 iPads simultaneously. It gets the aviation data output out of the Garmin GPS. So if you have a Garmin 430, 530, 650, 750, G900, G1000, in fact, any of the other manufacturers like Bendix King that have an aviation data output string, you hook it up one wire to our unit, and what we do is we take that data and crunch it, and then we simultaneously send it out via the Bluetooth to 3 different iPads individually.
Okay.
So, like in this example right here, we have an airplane that's flying to LAX, to San Francisco, to Seattle, then to Salt Lake City.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to go in just to show just how simple it is that on this Garmin 430, I'm just going to go in and add well, let's say if I take out Seattle, we can just take it out for the clear picture.
Oh, don't take out Seattle.
I know.
I like Seattle.
I know, but the weather's kind of...
Okay.
So we updated it to Seattle, and as you can see, the flight plan just really updated itself and just disappeared. The Seattle portion is gone. It reroutes your new times to Seattle, and so it's a very simple device. All it is we're getting the WAS. If you have a WAS GPS, you're getting the WAS data come to our box. We convert it to and then retransmit it again. And the other great feature is like, so if the customer decides that, hey, I'm just going to go directly to Salt Lake City, so I'm just going to say activate and just go direct to Salt Lake City, and you'll see is that the airplane is now just heading direct to Salt Lake City. So whatever the pilot is doing, because the iPad is really used as a guidance of what's happening with the airplane, because iPad can do a lot of other stuff like listen to music, play games, and come back and see where your airplane is. So this is really, we have done it where we're getting that data. And if the customer wants to select an approach into Salt Lake City, he can select the approach, vectors. I'm just going to do it here, and I'm going to activate it. Yes, and actually I may have and direct to. So actually I would have to expand the database a little bit here, but okay, actually the unit will be saying over there, I guess we have to update it, that hey, I have a flight plan coming in into the unit.
Okay.
And then you will accept it, and then so whatever you're doing on your airplane, it's actually showing up on your iPad.
Okay. What does this mean, though, from a standpoint of the information being imparted? It's more than just where are we? How does the pilot use it versus how does the passenger use it? Okay.
For the pilot, is as he or they're amending the flight plan, adding flight plans, changing their waypoints, it'll automatically be, he can see it on his iPad, what's the effect is going to be. He can load it in his, when he loads in his Garmin 430, he'll update it on his iPad, so he can see the full flight plan.
Okay.
As far as the passengers in the back, you know, the all current, are we there yet? So they'll be able to see on the information there that the pilot just amended his flight plan, maybe he's going around weather, and now it's going to be 3 hours and 20 minutes instead of, you know, where are we, and the pilot can really go in and look at his, the passenger can go look and see where he is on the airplane itself, on the geographic map.
So they're seeing quite a bit of information here. I'm reading estimated time en route and to destination, the speed, GPS altitude, next waypoint, an overall timer, and things of that nature. So there's quite a bit of information that's being imparted. Where is the future of this? I mean, this is obviously a very good platform and an idea that's its time has come, but obviously with the jump that you've made from what you have done with your previous devices to this, you've got to be thinking where you can take it from here.
Well, yes, that is true. We are looking at different aspects, since we now, the great feature about this product, which is really over Wi-Fi, is that we hold individual conversations. So, for example, in the future, we will be able to text message back and forth between each other. You know, so there's a lot of opportunities for us to bring more information, because Bluetooth can handle a lot of information.
All right.
And in our proprietary system, where we can do 3 iPads simultaneously, is really a big engineering jump.
Now, they're going to be able to see charting data and things of that nature in the IFR environment, even to the passengers and all?
Well, that's a great thing about this feature, is if you don't give the pilot, the passenger, that kind of information, then all he can do is he can go on a Google map and he can see his airplane on Google Map.
Gotcha.
So it's really, if the passenger doesn't have that IFR plate or the weather or whatever, you know, he'll be able to see that.
Interesting. Okay. How'd this idea come up? I mean, sounds like you've been sniffing a little bit too much of the carbon monoxide to come up with something this crazy, and yet at the same time it works. Where did this come from?
Well, what it is on our CO detector, we also came out with a Bluetooth CO detector.
Right.
That, so if you have a portable device, you can send it to the G1000.
Okay.
So that idea came in, and then we said, wait a minute, there's a lot more information we can put on the G1000, and that's where the idea really came from.
Interesting. I'll be darned. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it is. It's very simple. It's really, the pilots just love the simple. One of the customers that was flying for us, he goes, you really don't see the value of this product till you're actually flying, and as your last flight plan is disappearing and your next leg is automatically showing up, and as you're amending your flight plan, and everything just working seamlessly together.
I'll be darned. Costs, installation, things of that nature. What's a pilot going to have to deal with if they want to install this?
The price is $995.
Okay.
And it's about 2 to 3 hours install. It's a very simple power and ground and 1 RS-232R box.
Okay.
So the pilot is not just getting this feature, he's also getting the features of our CO detector. In addition, he's also getting cabin altitude warning, which is built into our boxes.
Okay.
And also he's getting a CO alert built in also.
I don't want to take the thunder away from what you're doing with obviously a unique and interesting product, but I don't want to negate what you've done in the past. You and I have had the discussion, and we've done a couple of Aero-TV programs about the incredibly, and let's face it, insidious danger of carbon monoxide through your CO products and so forth. I mean, you've done some amazing stuff in that regard. It's become practically standard equipment on a number of airplanes, but there are a number of accidents when you look at the data and this and that, and they don't have real cause for things until you get down to the autopsy and realize these folks had these horrific CO concentrations and such. Talk about the CO line itself and what's available right now, where that goes, and frankly, just how bloody important it is to have this in a cockpit.
Well, it's actually, CO is really, make a long story short, is when I was learning to fly in '96, I had CO poisoning.
Olden days.
Yeah, well, 93, yeah. I had CO poisoning. when I was learning to fly. And
Oh,
at that
God.
time, I'm an engineer. And so I found out that there was nothing out there. My airplane had that little sticky,
Right.
you know,
Which
and
is
it's still there.
Probably worthless, yeah.
Worthless. And so when I started researching, we found out that CO is really a big problem. And the biggest problem is that you may fly, you may have a headache, you may not know why you had a headache, because it wasn't enough CO to actually decapitate you, but you had enough that you got a headache. And then as we're getting older,
Speak for yourself, buddy.
as we're getting
I may be
mature,
getting older, but I refuse to grow up.
yeah, as we're maturing, we're getting so the CO really affects your body, the way ability to think. And if you take altitude in effect on top of that with lack of air, you're really asking for trouble.
Okay.
And so CO detectors has really been our base for the last 10, 15 years. And really, and now we just have added a really nice feature. And then one of our, as also another one is just our pulse oximeter, which is a CO detector that also does heart rate and oxygen. And as you're climbing, we actually send you a data to go check yourself, because we know the altitude you're flying and how long you've been flying.
You've done some really innovative stuff, and as I told you before, the whole process of all the panels that we selected today was built around the concept of innovation. And let's face it, you've been innovative in some strange ways occasionally, but you know, stuff people don't think about. But that's the genius of it, because you don't know that you need it until it's too late. But more important, once you took an initial product, then found other ways to expand upon it and using essentially the same modules. Talk about multitasking. It's great stuff. If you could, give me a quick rundown of the availability of the CO products, costs, and rough idea for installation, what's available, and we'll let you get on your way.
Okay. Well, our CO detectors are really value-oriented. We start with a portable unit for less than $149. And then we have panel mounts that for $299, $499, and then we have for $695, $795, and all the way up to $999, $995. Okay. So we have different models for different applications.
Okay.
And so it's really what the pilot really wants for his or her airplane.
Well, Ash, I've got to give you credit for some inspired ideas here, and certainly some innovative thinking. We look forward to seeing what you do down the line on this. As a matter of fact, we've got an Aero-TV program coming up that we shot at HAI on the Aero 454. Now that we've got all the documentation and so forth from you, we can get that out here in the next few days. I may even put it up tonight. But thanks much for the time. We look forward to catching up with you. What's the URL or the website where people can get more information?
Thank you. It's guardianavionics.com.
Okay.
So guardianavionics.com.
Very good. Alrighty, folks, we're going to take another break here. We've got 2 more segments before we finish out the day, and you folks get to get rid of me. For the moment, from the 55th Annual AEA Convention and Trade Show, we'll take a break. We'll see you in a little bit. This is Aero-News and Aero-TV.
Aero-TV's live coverage of the 55th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.